and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another exciting episode of Bees Cast. It's Casey Pratt here with Nevada Colon. Of course, this is provided by Fieldwork. Shout out Fieldwork. And I'm very excited because the Oakland Ballers have made it to the end of a historical regular season, but we're just getting started, to be very clear, Nevada. We are not resting on our laurels. We're not going to revel in our historical season. We're not going to revel in all the team leaders by category that basically broke every single Ballers record. But we are going to pause a beat, acknowledge the incredible job that you did this season in the broadcast booth. You are done for the year after this episode of Bees Cast. I know you'll be watching from home, but you are amazing, fantastic, phenomenal. Congrats on everything. A huge year. We love you so much, Nevada.
Well, thank you, Casey. I miss everyone already. I got a text from Ben Bearhook saying the same thing, that he misses me already, and I miss him very much. And I miss you, of course. I miss everyone. I miss the coworkers that I had, the players on the team, the coaching staff, the fans, all the fans. What a year it was. And we'll see if you can get rid of me that easily. If we win a chip. If we win it all, I'm popping on whatever Bees Cast is happening at the rating. So.
For planning purposes only, as we say in the Ballers organization. But the purpose of this episode is to shout out our incredible Reddit community. Our subreddit of the Oakland Ballers has a top 100 baseball following in all of Reddit, and they created their own awards for the team. They voted. We have the results. We're going to talk through each award category, and we'll give you the winners here, and then we'll also take your comments live as you have them. But you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we jump right into this subreddit awards. And Nevada, there are so many good options in every single category when a team finishes 73-23, 50 games over 500, and breaks a Pioneer League wins record. So, I mean, how do you even vote on these guys?
It's tough. That's a great point. I was thinking about this right before we started recording, is that when you have this team that had the Pioneer League record number of wins in a season was 73, it's not just one guy. It's not. You look at the pitching staff, the best pitching staff in the league. That takes an army. And so when I'm sorting through these awards in my head, everyone could be nominated. There wasn't a single player that ended this year with the Ballers that wasn't deserving of an award. And that's not limited to the players who finished the year. I think of a player like Pat Monty, who he was released by the Ballers, and yet I think of one of the awards and I'm like, this is a guy who I would nominate for that award. And so when it takes like all 26 players on the roster, it takes all 26 to win 73 games. And so that makes the fans' job voting for these awards and our job as members of the podcasting presence of Bees Cast. It makes our job more difficult, but it makes it fun because we get to highlight so many great athletes and the efforts they put in this season.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even have really wanted to do this if we had to pick the winners. I'm very happy that the Reddit community picked the winners and we just get to talk about them now. That means I don't have to go in the dugout and explain to anybody or their parents or anybody else why we didn't choose them. These weren't our choices. Me and Nevada are just going to discuss them and shout out the subreddit community. So, without further ado, we're going to start. Whoa. Dan Silvert's already excited. Look at that. Let's start, though.
This is too good. This is too good.
I'm going to bounce that, though. Let's get right into this. The first award is something that the fans called the Dave Stewart Smoke Award. Now, eligible for this award were pitcher Noah Milliken, Chewy Conrad Richardson, Connor Sullivan, our closer, who also set a record for saves, Gabe Tanner, Zach St. Pierre. I would throw Reed Butts on this list personally, too. He ended up tied with the team league for wins. All those guys, incredibly deserving. The winner, though, Nevada, would you like to tell us who it is and why you think he won?
Well, it has to be Noah Milliken. Our Dave Stewart Smoke Award Pitcher of the Year, as voted on by the fans, goes to the Milkman. And why? It's because he was the Pioneer League's best starting pitcher this year. I mean, what Noah Milliken did after joining the team was incredible. He went out, I'll give you his final line, a 2.12 ERA, which is the best in the league among starting pitchers.
That's not easy in the Pioneer League. Let's be very honest here. You hear that number, and it is impressive at any level, but in the Pioneer League, that is a tough number.
Second best was Gabe Tanner, who was phenomenal with a 3.35. The Millikins was full point better. 7-1 record, 14 starts, 85 innings, 65 hits, 12 walks to 96 strikeouts. That is an unfathomable strikeout to walk ratio. He led qualifying pitchers, as I said, in the league in ERA. He finished the year on a 22-inning scoreless streak. He provided 10 quality starts out of 14. It's unbelievable. And he provided 5 shutout starts. I mean, you look at those numbers, those are the numbers of a guy deserving. And you just knew whenever Noah Milliken went to the bump that you had a really good shot at winning. And the Ballers usually did.
Yeah, and I think that is something that was universally acknowledged when the coaching staff decided to make him the Game 1 starting pitcher in the playoffs, which start tomorrow at Raimondi Park, the first round, best of 3 series. If necessary, 3 games, all 3 would be at Raimondi Park in West Oakland. So we are just getting started, Nevada.
Yes, it is going to be a very fun playoff run. Getting to see Noah Milliken make that Game 1 start is going to be. I'm just so excited for it. He is going to give the Ballers a very good chance to win Game 1, which is always really important in a playoff series, especially in a 3-game series. And you can say that about any Baller starter that is going to go out there and make the playoff start. They're going to give the Ballers a chance to win, which is, of course, means everything.
Yeah, and also shout out Luke Short. Not in this category as chosen by the fans, but I think Luke Shorty, our opening day starting pitcher, obviously, had he not missed a few games due to injury, would very much be in consideration for this award too. But yeah, Milkman, Noah Milliken, absolutely dominated this year. Definitely deserving of the award. But shout out to everybody else. I mean, we had everything cooking. We had the best ERA by any team in the Pioneer League by over a run, I believe. So everybody has contributed.
I'm going to rapid fire this, Casey, because I can basically give you a reason for any Ballers pitcher.
Let's hear him. Let's just hear them all real quick before we move on to the next award.
Caleb Franz at a 4.36 ERA. Phenomenal. Great lefty out of the pen. Zach St. Pierre, all-time winningest pitcher in Ballers history in their 2 years as a franchise with 15. Reed Butts set the franchise single-season record with 9 wins this season, 5 quality starts, including 7 innings in his last start against Great Falls. Nearly got his 10th win. Connor Sullivan. Need I say more? Pioneer League saves leader. Also
made history in the league.
The all-time record, set the unaffiliated era record by 2 more saves than the previous record. Adam Bogosian, 5.44 ERA, still really good out of the pen. He was phenomenal this year. Finished with some 15 strikeouts in his last 6 innings. Milliken, of course, Collier with a 3.77 ERA. He was also near that top 10 in the league in ERA. Connor Richardson. Let me pull it up real quick because he was, I know watching this, he also finishes in the top 10 in ERA, like 4 Ballers pitchers did this season. Richardson finishes 4th in the league in ERA, 3rd among relievers. It's Reese Miller, Jacob Hasty, Noah Milliken, Chewy, right there.
Shout out Chewy. That's my best Chewy I can do.
Really good.
Yeah. If I practice more, I can do that better.
You already said Short. He was top 10 in ERA. So was Gabe Tanner. Gabe Tanner was 2nd among Pioneer League starting pitching with his 3.35 ERA. He also finished 9-0.
Yeah, 9-0. Is that good, Nevada? 9-0?
Is that good? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So,
all right, let's move on to the next award. The next award is what they're calling the Curt Flood Heart and Hustle Award. And I like this idea. It's a creative award. It gets a lot of other people in the mix here. I'm going to give you the candidates. Tremaine Cobb Jr., Darryl Buggs II, Tyler Lozano. Looks like just 3 in that category. All good choices. Buggs, obviously, led the team and I believe the league in stolen bases, set a franchise record in stolen bases. Tremaine Cobb Jr., huge year, obviously, both offensively, defensively, everything he brings to the team. Tyler Lozano, a veteran on this team, a guy that really helps run everything behind the scenes for the roster too. All-around good guy, and also one of the catchers that helped call those amazing pitching performances. So Nevada, I'll have you give the winner and tell me why the fans probably chose that person.
Well, the winner is none other than the only second-year Oakland Ballers position player, Tyler Lozano, who wins the Herb Flood Heart and Hustle Award. It is well-deserved by Tyler Lozano. You might be thinking, nice one, Dan. You might be thinking, well, Tyler only played in 46 games. That's not really, doesn't really live up to the award's name, Heart and Hustle. But remember, he's a catcher, and he did miss 2 weeks of the season, so he was in there whenever he could be. Only missing 2 weeks with an injury. Last year, he had an emergency appendectomy and missed a month. So if you think working through that over the course of a season doesn't deserve a Heart and Hustle award, then you're crazy. But you might also think, I don't know, still 46 games, like Heart and Hustle, really? It's like, come on. He's a catcher. He and Dylan Tatum are both getting beat up back there. And Lozano was one of the, I'd say, best defensive catchers in the league this year. Only allowed 34 stolen bases. He caught 11 runners stealing. So Tilo, very deserving of the Heart and Hustle award. Hart, I think, screams a lot into it. Came up with some clutch hits this year as well, and really just wears it on his sleeve.
Yeah, and I think what Tilo does too behind the scenes is a huge piece of the entire puzzle. He's definitely one of, if not the team leader. He's a great guy behind the scenes, helping all the boys, and obviously dealing with us broadcasters and media types as well. I always know if there's a big interview coming up, I can put Tilo on it and he'll get the job done. He has been an absolute pleasure to work with, and has also organized events off the field, outside of Raimondi Park, that his teammates and everybody had a chance to enjoy. So, like the Levels event that Tilo had, and he does all these amazing things with Roadrunner U, and I think that he's just got such an incredibly bright future ahead of him, whether it's baseball or otherwise. That guy really does it all, Nevada.
Yep. And I want to give a shout as well to the other two candidates that were listed in Trey Cobb Jr. and Daryl Buggs II. If I were handing out a winner to this award, I think I might lean in Trey's direction. Jermaine Cobb Jr., I mean, this is the prototypical Heart and Hustle player, a guy who played in 88 games, missing a few with injury, but basically every other game, Aaron Miles could just pencil him in at the top of the lineup. Jermaine Cobb Jr. leading off playing shortstop. And when you have a shortstop and a leadoff hitter that's playing such great defense and getting on base and really kickstarting the team, I think Dan Silver hits on a good point here. What is, in his question, what has Trey meant to this team from a leadership, defensive stalwart perspective? Look, this Ballers team was tied second in the league in fielding percentage, and that's because they had a shortstop in Trey Cobb Jr. who had just as many errors as some of the maybe first basemen in the league, a position that's going to commit less errors. Shortstop's going to have the most errors, and Trey only committed, it was less than 15, which is a ridiculous number, fielding some 970 by his lonesome. And I mean, that's all you can ask for from a defensive perspective. He was a Gold Glover in college for a reason. And then from a leadership perspective, there is just this calm and steady presence that Trey brings. And also just, he seems to look out for his guys. Whenever I would be in the clubhouse, there was just a calming presence about him. But also, like, he would be one to just like make jokes and keep his guys' spirits up. My biggest Trey moment, the one I love the most, is one of his teammates, I don't remember which, their chain broke mid-play, whether it was mid-at-bat or whatever. But Trey's in the dugout, and I get my binoculars out, and I'm looking, I'm like, he's trying to fix this chain right now. Like, this is a guy who really cares, like, big heart for his teammates, really, like, is looking out for his guys. And then, as for Buggsy, I mean, hustle, like, part of this award is Heart and Hustle. And he set a single-season franchise record in stolen bases for the Ballers this year, stealing, I think it was 36 or something like that. But it was an awesome year for Buggsy. And then the hustle in center field. I mean, the catch he makes in Colorado Springs to win the game 12-10 against the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Sully might not have that save that helps him get to 19. If not for that catch by Bugs, that robbed a hit. He said it to me. He said, "Look, I don't know if I get the best reads out there all the time, but I'm gonna run it down. Like I know I'm fast and I can get there." And man, does he! Love to see his development as a hitter this year, finding his power stroke, learning how to bunt for a hit. He kind of started to do it all, and then he's got a big heart too. I have a soft spot for Bugs. He and I, had an early bond because we had a mutual friend who we played with in college by the name of Brooks Walton, who's the son of Gators softball head coach Tim Walton. And so, we connected through that, and he was just always a guy who would, basically I appreciated the way Bugsy messed with me. I'm an outside guy. Like I'm not part of the team, but I'm out watching batting practice, and he's always, just talking with me and messing with me. And then always the best Bugs thing is always after batting practice, he will go up to the coach, whichever throws it to him, whether it's Coach James Harris, whether it's manager Aaron Miles, whether it's me throwing BP one day during the season. He will shake your hand. He will say, "Appreciate you." And that's just, if that's not heart, I don't know what is.
Yeah, rapid fire in reverse order. Bugs, obviously franchise leader now in stolen bases, broke the record for the Ballers, but also low-key probably the funniest guy on the team. I can think of so many different times where Bugs will have a quick quip that just makes me laugh. So the Oakland 68s chanted, "We love Bugs, we love Bugs, we love Bugs." I think everybody loves Bugs. And then Tremaine Cobb, really just, when he came in, I looked at the prowess defensively, boasting one of the best fielding percentages in all of NCAA. And I was like, okay, cool, we got a good glove at short. What I didn't realize was the dude can hit. Like, he hit that incredible knockout round home run on opening night that everybody remembers. He has another walk-off home run this season. He is the guy that they put in the initial home run derby contest and had some major pop. So I think that Tremaine Cobb Jr. really surprised me offensively this season. When he came in, I was expecting, mostly a defender, and he has provided the total package. He's had a phenomenal year.
Yep, it's a great sign, and that is what I think can help him to maybe this offseason get a minor league deal. I think he's got the glove and he's got the bat for it. He's got the persona, someone who deserves to be playing affiliated ball. So best of luck to Trey.
And if you're watching this live, you see me looking down a lot. It's because I'm managing the comments and making sure that we have the right banner up. But if you're watching, feel free to comment. Nevada and I will be happy to answer your questions. And again, the Ballers play in the playoffs starting tomorrow at Raimondi Park. All of the best of 3 games in the first round at Raimondi Park. We need you in the house. We need you loud. This thing isn't just about the players, Nevada. This has been a team effort. Many of our owners are fan investors. Everybody's in this together, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're a fan, whether you're in the front office, whether you're in the broadcast booth. We all have a major piece of this, and I think that the fans might be the biggest piece. So please be there, be loud, give us the home field advantage that we deserve, because I can't even tell you, Nevada, how many times I heard the fans heckling relief pitchers and saw them come completely unglued. Like the fans do have a mark on this team and a mark on these games, and so packing the house at Raimondi Park will be huge as the Ballers hope to get past that first round and into a Pioneer League championship. All right, this is a big one here. I'm going to hit it. The fans on the Reddit subreddit community, again, our subreddit, the Oakland Ballers subreddit, created by the fans, is a top 100 Reddit in all of baseball. I think it's actually probably much higher than 100, but it's a top 100 is what the badge says. This is the Ricky number 24 MVP award. This is the big one. Obviously, they're going to have a bunch of hitters here. I actually lobbied at one point we should throw some pitchers in here too, but they gave the pitchers their own award. So if I look at the candidates here, there are some good ones. We have Dylan Tatum, Tremaine Cobb Jr., Danny Harris IV, Davis Druick, and Christian Almanza. And I think this is probably the easiest one to choose out of all the categories. And that's not saying anything about any of the other candidates, but one guy had a season that was just unbelievable, Nevada.
And that, of course, your Ricky number 24 MVP award, according to the fans in the Oakland Ballers subreddit, it's Christian Almanza.
Yep.
You set the franchise single season record and franchise overall record for home runs and RBI in a season. You bash 31 bombs. You drive in 105 runs, both marks, by the way, top 10 in the league. Home runs, Almanza finishes 4th in the Pioneer League. You're the MVP. Almanza also, importantly, like Tremaine Cobb Jr., showed up every day that he was asked. Almanza rarely out of the lineup. Almanza always provided a big hit. It's just the amount of big hits that he had, I think, also says it. You look through his season, a game-tying single against Grand Junction earlier in the year, go-ahead homers and singles against Glacier in June, go-ahead solo shot against Yuba Sutter on the last day of July. Like, these are just examples that I'm just pulling from my notes of time and time again where Almanza delivered a big hit. He was just always there to provide that hit. He also scored the most runs on the team. He was getting on base at a pretty high rate. He was the most important player offensively for this team, and he also played first base. He played just sound defense at first. This is exactly who the Ballers knew they were getting with Christian Almanza, and he's another guy that, look, if he can continue to put up numbers like this, I could see a minor league team taking a chance on it. But for now, it's just going to be, he's deserving of the MVP. He was the most important player for this Ballers offense this season, and he might be the most important player for the Ballers, and probably will be, in this postseason starting on Thursday.
Yeah, and you said a lot there. I will just thank Christian Almanza personally. Thank you, Christian, for making me look smart. Because every time anybody asked me about any of the players on the Ballers roster this year, I always pointed to Christian Almanza, and I said, this guy is the single season and career home run leader at St. Mary's, right down the street in Moraga. He is going to mash. He is going to be phenomenal for this team. I was like shouting his name from the rooftops all off season heading into this season, and he sure made me look smart. So thank you, Christian. And also he made the front office look extremely smart for bringing him on. But he's also part of what I think is the coolest story, and there are many cool stories with the Oakland Ballers. Grew up with Tyler Lozano, grew up with Dylan Tatum. Those three guys have known each other since kindergarten. They're all best friends. All three of them are huge parts of this team. I know you're going to jump in and run down the accolades of Dylan Tatum, and obviously we've already talked about Tilo, but man, I mean, to be able to play on this team and have this type of success with two of your best friends, this trio of guys from Stockton, is so incredibly special, Nevada. And I just am loving watching these guys play and interact and all the dynamics that come with it. It's just such a pleasure.
It is the coolest story. I loved listening to, I believe it was your interview with those two, Lozano and Almanza, and Lozano saying that they did everything together growing up. Went out on the water, boating, jet skiing, tubing, the snow. They were skiing and snowboarding together, skateboarding, shooting hoops, in and out, Krispy Kreme, just doing it. Like, these guys are just good friends, and Tatum is part of that. And it was just really sweet to see them interact, and also they weren't exclusive about it either. Everybody became a part of that tight-knit group, and I think maybe them just kind of grabbing on to each player one at a time and making it all into one cohesive team is why this team is so tight and such a good group of just guys who seem to love each other. And as you said, Dylan Tatum should get mentioned in this MVP conversation, finishing top 3 on the team in RBI, second in Ballers franchise history with his 23 homers, as he did homer in the final game. And then also playing 67 games as a catcher and a DH. That is a tall task, but Tatum, again, another player who I think can land with the minor league organization as soon as
Absolutely.
next year. So big ups to Tatum. Also, you mentioned the other MVP candidates. We already talked about Tremaine Cobb Jr., Danny Harris and Davis Druick. Two very different stories. Davis Druick picked up from the California Winter League. He really surprised us and put together an amazing season, getting on base a ton and blasting 19 bombs. Excuse me for a second.
Nice mute work. Professional broadcaster there.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And then Danny Harris, awesome year. Ended up second on the team in hits. tied for second in doubles, drove in nearly 70 runs. He was one who the Ballers traded for from the Washington Wild Things to the Frontier League. They knew what they were getting with Danny. Danny delivered, led the team in multi-hit games, which I discovered late in the year because Tyler would say, it seems like Danny's always having 2, 3, 4 hit games. It's like a matter of fact, you're right, Tyler. He's done that more than anyone else on this team. And also played a very good second base. Another one of the players, I think at the end of the day, Danny ended up leading the team in games played in 91. I might need to check myself on that, but I think that says a lot maybe for him to be in a shout as well for the Heart and Hustle Award. Then I wanted to quickly shout out 2 more guys real quick. I know I'm droning on and on for MVP. That obviously, you know what? I'll shout out just a few more hitters. Lou Helmick, awesome offensive season. I know he was in a bit of a platoon in the outfield. Still played in 80 games and hit really well with runners on. Drove in more than 60 runs. Isai Santos for the 26th man to hit 291, to lead the team in walks, and to have a walk-off hit and a game-winning grand slam. It was just an awesome year. I loved watching Isai develop as a pro. And then, of course, I'll say, y'all snubbed someone in those wonderful people in the subreddit, because Cam Buford is
2020 year, led the team in batting average, season. Nevada.
Yes, he was mainly the designated hitter. But hey, Shohei won the MVP as the DH. I think Cam Buford with a 2020 season, 20 homers and 20 stolen bases, that is so valuable he led the team in hits. He also was third on the team in stolen bases, second among players who played all season with the Ballers. And I mean, he's just a young superstar. And I think he's going to come into his own defensively. And he's my pick to be the first. I know this is crazy to say, but I think one day we'll look back and say, man, we got to see Cam Buford before he was a Major League Baseball player. I think he's the one. I think he has such talent. If you have not seen Cam Buford take batting practice, make it a point to, if he comes back next year, if we're blessed with his presence next season, because it is just majestic the way he hits the baseball. It is a sight to see. And Cam Buford had a heck of a year.
Well, luckily, Nevada, a lot of people kind of got to see Cam Buford take batting practice, because Cam single-handedly won a handful of games for the Ballers, because he's your go-to knockout round guy. And he was also the guy that started the year in the Home Run Derby when the Home Run Derby was a major thing. And so Cam single-handedly has put the team on his back many times, and you do kind of get to see him take BP when you see a knockout round. There was that one on the road. Maybe it was Glacier Bank Dark. I can't quite remember. But
no, he hit 5 there.
He hit like 5. Yeah, he just went absolutely hot. That was crazy. So Cam Buford definitely deserves to be on this list. And then, I saw this comment from Dan Silvert, who I like to call Dan Silvert Holmes. I can't believe his last name isn't Holmes. Pamela Bugs for the win. Can you guys talk momentarily at the end of this about how amazing the parents have been? They deserve an award too. And I think what's really special about this organization is that we get to interact with these players' families a lot in the crowd. But that's not just us. Anybody that tunes in to a Ballers YouTube live stream gets to interact with the players' families a lot. They're all in the chat throughout the game, weighing in on the game, talking to you, asking questions on the broadcast, and it's just been so special to see the families of these players and how they kind of fit into the grand scheme of things. I saw a whole bunch of Bufords down on the field one day. I've often seen, the Butts family in the house and in the chats, and they're always an ever-present contributor and so fun. I just think that, Christy Collier, who's saved me from bugs, and Yuba Sutter many times as well. I think that they're all a big piece of this puzzle and very fun to interact with. And in any game in Oakland, you'll see O'Hara's family, a lot of the families in the house, and they are just so great to deal with.
The funny thing, we're bound to leave someone out, but I mean, Robert Sullivan, Summer Short, the Lozanos, they're all there. If you go to a Ballers game, whether it's at home or on the road, you're going to run into one of the parents, or many of them, and they're just the sweetest. Shout out Connor Richardson's grandparents. who I got to meet in Colorado Springs. But yeah, it's just a supportive group of the families, and I like the way that the fans and the families have come together and to support this team. And I hope that the parents can make it through this playoff run with their nails.
That's going to be tough. And I'm not going to pick a winner. I'm not going to pick a family winner here. Maybe if the subreddit wants to go back and do that and send it our way, that's fine. But I'm definitely not going to choose this one. But shout out to everybody that we interact with on a daily basis in the Ballers organization. It's great. All right, Nevada, real quick. I know we're past 30 minutes now. Postseason, Thursday and Friday at the very least at Raimondi Park. We do know Noah Milliken, the Milkman, the Dave Stewart Smoke Award winner, will be pitching Game 1. Man, I'm stressed out just thinking about it. I think it is going to be so much fun. Nevada, what are your thoughts heading into this postseason for the Ballers?
I'm excited. I think the Ballers have a playoff round under their belts from last year in the round 1 loss with the High Wheelers. They went 3 that time. I want to give 2 encouragements. 1, stay the course. Just expect 3 games. That's usually how the playoffs go. If the Ballers sweep, great. But I would say playoffs tend to be settled in as many games as possible. It'll be very stress-inducing. There'll be low-scoring games because the pitching is going to be excellent. Ogden's got a few good arms. But 2, just have fun, enjoy it, enjoy the moment. This is a great moment in Oakland sports history. This Oakland Ballers team, and they could very realistically win a title and win a ring and do it on home soil this year at Raimondi Park. The odds are non-zero, and they're pretty likely that it could happen, and that is just such an awesome thing that we get to rally around, and we get to watch this team do its thing. At the end of the day, these guys are going to give it their all, and only the baseball gods know whether they will come home with that ring or not. But man, are they going to give it their 110% effort to do it? So I'm just excited, Casey. I'm just really pumped.
Yeah, I am too, and I also run the show, so I have a million things going on during games, but man, I'm going to be glued to every pitch, and I just am so excited to see what takes place with the Ballers, and I know that Oakland fans are going to bring it. I remember being at the playoff games last year and how electric the vibe was, and even when the Ballers lost, unfortunately, to the High Wheelers, nobody would leave. Everybody stayed in the park and spent time with each other, and just, it's amazing what happens when Oakland sports fans come together. And I'm telling you, Oakland sports fans, you have a major impact on this team and this game, and you need to pack that house Thursday and Friday. We are going to hopefully see sellouts in both games, but tickets are available. Get them, get in, get loud, be a part of this whole thing, and hopefully this historic season continues on. But right now, Nevada, 73-23, 50 games over 500. The last time a team in the Pioneer League won this many games, I believe music was played on vinyl, gas was 30 cents a gallon. It has been a remarkable year, but right now the Ballers are 0-0. And it doesn't mean a whole lot if you don't go get that ring. It don't mean a thing without that ring, Nevada. So the Ballers have to step up, do this for Oakland, do this for a city that so deeply and richly deserves to have something like this to celebrate. It's a lot, obviously, to put all that on these guys, but man, they've had a heck of a year and they are so capable of it. So I'm just hoping that we can bring a lot more joy throughout the rest of this Baller season.
Be there, sell it out. If you can't, tune in. You can watch on Flow. You gotta be on the YouTube chat. I'll be there. I'll be on that YouTube chat with you guys. And you can listen on 860 to Tyler Peterson's calls of the action. It's gonna be, it's gonna make my heart skip a beat here and there, but it's gonna be a fun time. We're all gonna have a fun time. We're gonna help keep each other in that YouTube chat. We're gonna keep each other sane. We're gonna keep each other afloat, and we're gonna relax. We're gonna do our breathing exercises, and we're gonna watch the Ballers in some playoff games.
It's going to be fun. I won't sadly not be able to be in the YouTube chat because I'll be running the in-game show, but
We'll talk about you.
Yeah, just give me a nod every now and then, and I'll go back and check it later because I can't wait to see what that chat's like with all the fans and family and everybody interacting. All right, Ramondi Park tomorrow and Friday and maybe Saturday. We'll see what happens. Nevada, hell of a year from you, man. I'm so happy that I got to know you and got to share some of this fun with you. And I know you won't be a stranger. Everybody's been so blessed to be able to listen to your calls throughout the year and also your interviews on this very podcast. So thank you so much,
Casey.
Nevada.
Hey, and I'll be there in spirit. You know why?
I don't. Why?
Never take a baller out the bay.
Oh, wow. Shout out Jay Walt. Shout out our Reddit, subreddit community for creating these awards. I have to end on that. That was too good. Thank you for listening to Bees Cast, sponsored by Fieldwork.